As far as our upcoming season, we are very excited. We had a very productive spring. We've had a quality summer off-season program in the weight room, getting bigger and stronger. We have a very tough opener versus Maplesville, who put it on us pretty good to open our season last year. So we look forward to that challenge. That was a good starting off point for us last year. They identified several weaknesses that I needed to do a better job of coaching up on several sides, offensively and defensively. We go down to their place. We've added a game this year with Isabella. We just added that past week. We now have a 10-game schedule.
What date is it?
That is October 25th.
Okay.
They had a team drop them. I think it was Holy Spirit who dropped football was on their schedule, and so they needed to, when we had an open date, so we were able to open that. So we're excited. That gives us another home game.
And you guys are playing Maplesville at home, right?
No, sir. We go to their place.
So you'll go to Maplesville and to Isabella.
No, Isabella will come to us.
Okay.
Coach, playing 3A ball, how many you got this year? I know that's always the numbers of game is a tough thing for you.
Yes, sir. We'll start off with about 50 next Monday. So give or take one or two who decided to do other things, but we'll start off with about 50, and then through attrition they decide whether or not, because we're not as strict as other places because of our numbers. We want to have as many out as we can, but we should play with about 45.
Is that about what you guys had last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's pretty average for us.
And then you guys have moved on, but maybe we haven't. You guys lost a really good middle linebacker from last year's team. How do you go about replacing him, because he was such a productive player for such a long time?
Replacing, I don't know if is the word, because you don't just really replace somebody like that. He's going to be very productive in my mind when he heads to Memphis. But we'll do it with numbers. It'll be a team effort. No one person will come in and just become Jalen Sims. We'll just have others. And we have two little brothers that we're expecting to be very good defensive players for us, and Brandon and Jeremy. And then, we just got to be solid at the other 10 positions also.
Coming into, and this is for the players themselves, get serious for a second. You got 10 wins coming into the second round of the playoffs. Confidence is high. You lose. Lessons learned on the offseason from that. What have y'all done? What have you learned from that? What have you done to move on to the season and get ready to make another run at it?
I feel as if the team effort has been high since we started back in the weight room since January. I feel like everything that they have done has pushed themselves and given their all. I know that maybe this year that we will give our all and move on past the second round.
Piggyback off what he said, I believe this team coming up had more energy than we had last year. So this team, I think we give more effort. We can surpass the second round this year.
Coach, tell us about some rising stars that we may have not heard about in the past that you might impact players that we'll see this year.
We have
besides the two that you got with you.
Besides the two that I got here, these are two I'm leaning heavy on. Other seniors we have are Aaron Boyd was a running back. He got injured in the midfield game last year. Well, it was a big loss for us. He had about 70 yards rushing in the first quarter, and once he went down, offensively we struggled and were able to pull one out against a very well-coached midfield team. Essex Goodman is another senior offensive and defensive lineman. We're expecting big things from him. He's really changed his body in the weight room. Underclassman, William Hardrick, going to be a defensive back, wide receiver. We're expecting big things from. The two younger Sims boys, Brandon and Jeremy. Defensively, we're expecting some things from them. They've got some things to do and all that to get there, but they're working towards that. Josh Maston, JoJo Hammaker are another defensive back, wide receivers that are doing a really good job for us. And then we have several others that got to show they're growing, they're getting better, things like that. They just got to prove it on Friday nights. We have a lot of question marks, but I do believe that we have the answers in place.
So Don, go for it. Who are you looking at quarterback this season?
It'll be Willie and JoJo Hamaker will be sharing duties. And so both very athletic, both very, very similar to what we're trying to do with run the quarterback, get the ball to our athletes and stuff like that. And they both grown since spring and being able to get the ball to our playmakers and also make plays on their own. They're both receivers and did a great job for us last year and stuff. So they're sharing duties right now, and they both bring a skill set a little different from each other that we look to take advantage of.
And do you expect that is the idea that they'll both play, or are you looking, or are you guys hoping that one guy kind of takes the reins and the other one ends up at receiver full time?
Well, they both want to play receiver. They both want to play quarterback. So we have, they want to throw the ball and they want to catch the ball. So we can't, they can't throw it to themselves yet. They haven't been proven good enough to do that yet. So they will take, and whoever, Willie's a senior. So we would like for him, our quarterback to be a senior leadership, as far as that goes. But both of them are very capable, and whoever gives us the best chance to win. And offensively, there won't be many times that both of them aren't on the field somewhere.
Really, you kind of smiled a little bit when they said that. Are you excited about taking some snaps? And when's the last time you took a snap before this season?
Last time I took a snap at quarterback was like 7th grade. I mean, it should be a fun ride. I just want to step in and do my job, whatever it takes to win.
This is a question for the players. Social media played a big part in sports in the last couple of years. How do you guys use social media during the game, during the week, game day, prepare? What do you do?
Not much. A little bit of Twitter, and that'd be it. Try to stay focused, stay mind clear on the game.
Pick off what he said. I do a little bit of Twitter as well, and just kind of keep my mind focused. I want to be able to give my all to my teammates and know that they have somebody they can depend on. So.
Is it easier going through an offseason, I guess, when you know that you've got that opponent like Maplesville waiting on you for the first game of the year? Is it easier to get motivated, I guess, for everyone?
Well, I'll let them speak after me and all that. It's their quality opponent. They're state championship caliber team. Everybody says 1A and stuff like that, but they'll have this. They might dress probably more players than we will as a 3A school. Now, that's a lot of pride. They take a lot of pride in that Maplesville on the front of their jersey. We got on them early last year, and they gave it right back to us, and it was it was a dogfight for a little while, but they started to wear us down a little bit, and hopefully we were able to use that as our off-season conditioning, how important that is. That if we don't show up that first week in shape, ready to play both sides of the ball, our playmakers on both sides of the ball, then we'll get an outcome that we don't think very much of, that we don't want. Yeah.
I feel like Maplesville was a great opponent that we played last year, especially with it being the first game of the season. I feel like that really was an eye-opener to me to be able to know, okay, what can I do better to help my team, and what can I improve on to also help my teammates.
Every game, first game, is a great game, but I believe Maplesville is a team to start off to let the team know where we stand on the season. So I believe we had a lot of confidence coming into this game, working out during the summer. So it should be a good game and a good way to test our team.
Looks like you'll jump into, or it looks like you'll have an open date after that, and then jump into region play the next week against Locust Fork. You guys have had a great region run lately. I guess what's been key to that success?
Well, we take it week by week. Yes, we want to win region championships. Yes, we want to playoff games. Yes, we want to win state championships. We have not been able to do that yet. We've had trouble with the last 3 years in the second round versus the region out of the Anston area with the Piedmont and Randolph County and Sac schools. So we look at it just as how can we get better? Is that first step? We don't look at that big picture as much as when we get up there August 5th. How can we be better before August 6th? And we just take it day by day, and then the team this year is really done a good job of focusing on that, is how we get better each and every day. And then when it comes game day, we'll take care of that game day, and then we'll start worrying about the next game day. And these guys, these two in particular, being seniors and stuff like that, they would like to go out their senior year without ever losing a region game and having 4 region championships. And the region teams in our region would very much like to be the ones that take that from us. So each region game will be a big game because they want to be the one that breaks our winning streak in the region.
Did you guys play any instant replay games last year?
No, sir.
Will do you guys have it at your stadium?
No, sir. Not as of right now.
And you want this year?
Not as of right now.
Coach, tell us about your kicking game.
Jonathan Victoriano will be our punter and kicker. He's done an excellent job. He'll be a senior this year also. I believe we have 6 seniors altogether. He's done a heck of a job. I would not be surprised to see him somewhere kicking on Saturdays. We just found him in a PE class, really. He was just a good guy he was on the soccer team, and we said, hey, why don't you come out and kick? He started kicking, and how great a coach I am. He was kicking off the ground like they do in college. Like, we can use the tee here in high school, use the tee, and he wasn't very good doing it. He's bad average. And then I walked out earlier when he was out there warming up, and he was kicking off the ground and kicking it so much better off the tee. And I was like, there you go. You do what you great kicking coach I am. I was like, you can do whatever you need to do. And he's very solid for us. Our kicking game is going to be very solid.
Who's your return man this year?
Probably be Willie. Bill will be one of them.
He looked surprised when you said that.
Yeah, he's been asking me for it and all that, and then we've got a couple others and stuff that we'll be looking at to firm it up in case he needs a break here and there. But he's definitely one that we expect to be on. He's a playmaker for us, and we want him on the field. We want the ball in his hand.
So Don, do you still talk with Richie any? Do you guys share any coaching ideas or anything like that?
Oh yeah, me and Richie are still big friends and all that. We stay in touch. I talked to him yesterday. He was driving up here, and he called. As he's driving through Fultondale to come see you guys, he gave me a holler, and we talked. And we talk about all kinds of things as far as schemes and stuff like that. What's working for them, what's working for us, and stuff like that, and new ideas. That type deal. So we stay in contact with each other.
I was asking a coach earlier, did anything surprise you about your first year as a head coach?
I don't know if surprise. I always heard sitting on that side of the desk was different as my many years as assistant coach, and I always heard that it's just different on that side of the desk. And it definitely was. The pull from this, that, and the other non-football stuff or non-X's and O stuff that you're just constantly talking to people, getting this prepared, where before as assistant, your main thing was the X's and O's and how to get players better. And now there's so many things as far as, just the meals, the fundraising, the buses, things like that you never worried about. You always knew it happening, but you just figured it was make a phone call, somebody did it, that type of deal, and poof, they showed up. Now when they don't show up, stuff like that, the officials, stuff like that, you're the contact person that you got to be scrambling around and stuff like that. So I'm very fortunate that I have great assistant coaches. So they do a great job with the X and O's. So I'm the one that can beat my head and scream and all that when things aren't going the way, as far as the lights not working and stuff like that.
You were talking about Aaron Boyd earlier, and I'm sure he's going to be your main guy in the backfield. But who do you expect to kind of work with him back there and share some carries with you?
We will have 2 others as of right now. We have some others that emerge. We have Eltonte Reese. He'll be a junior. We're expecting big things of him. He'll be playing tailback and our H-back also as a blocking back. Our backs got to do a great job. We won't give them the football very much until they learn how to block. So they have to learn how to block first, be a team guy before we start rewarding them with a bunch of carries. And then Jamarian Gorey will be a sophomore for us. And when he matures and things like that, he's going to be an asset for us offensively and defensively. All 3 of them will be playing running back and linebacker. Talked about it earlier about our numbers and stuff like that. So we'll have to, how we're going to fill in for Jalen and stuff like that. They'll all be a piece of that puzzle.